All right. Welcome. We back again, once again, time and time again, my friends. And it is Friday, December the 30th, the last trading day of the year. With that said, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do a live stream in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you are subscribed with the post notifications turned on. That way you get updated anytime I go live or post any educational content here on this channel. Now, I started these streams about 3 months ago, and I have not missed a day yet. So go ahead and drop your boy a thumbs up for the consistency. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We start off with XAU USD on the monthly time frame. We've been saying for the past 2 months, this market is probably going to come back and retest some previous structure that was broken. We've now gotten that, so you can go back and check that on the last live streams. On the past live streams, you can see we've been talking about this for quite some time. We had the most common pattern in the market just repeat itself over and over. Here on the weekly time frame, we did have this W formation where we broke to the upside, retested previous structure resistance to use it as support perfectly, and then from there just continued to climb, making steps higher, creating a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we've now created a higher high, tapping into this area. Now it's from this area where we just want to wait and see what happens. We could either get a nice and easy sell-off, as we are starting to slow down the momentum here on the daily time frame, but we are still making higher lows. The highs aren't getting too much higher than each other, but we are still making higher lows. Until this structure is broken, we cannot be looking for the sells yet. So if this market does break above this area, this could be a strong place for some structure support for the market to continue to the upside if we get the break above that. But we will see once the new year comes. XAG USD on the monthly time frame, on the monthly pushing to the upside quite aggressively. We have this area in here that it looks like the market wants to go ahead and retest. So we could see more continuation to the upside. If we look at the weekly time frame, not much has changed from these commodities from XAU to XAG. We did have a W formation in this area. We came back, retested the neckline. Previous structure resistance now used as support, created a higher high, higher low, and then we are on our way to create a higher high as we did this week. So from there, we could see more continuation to tap into some of these levels. But from there, you'd like to see either the market go ahead and show you a clear direction. So we are starting to get some consolidation now, but we are consolidating towards the highs. So we could see a breakout, come tap into some of these areas, and then the sell-off happen if the market does want to do that. But from here on out, we can just follow the structure. So we've created a higher high, higher low, higher high. We've started to consolidate here. We have yet to break these lows. So we still have not broken this structure to the downside as of yet. So it's just something to be patient about. We'll see once the new year comes, and then we can slide down to XBT USD on the monthly time frame, pushing to the upside as well. On the weekly time frame, you can see we had this flag pattern right here that if you want to see the breakout, you want to see it to either side of this, and then for a retest, you could get a possible entry. But on the weekly, we are just stepping higher. XBT USD on these commodities, they are correlated, so they will tend to show some of the same things. And if we look at the daily time frame of XBT USD platinum, you can see we are starting to break above some of this resistance level now. If we do get the impulse continuation to the upside, we could see this area be used as previous structure resistance once, twice, as current structure support for more continuation to the upside. Now we can go over US oil. US oil monthly time frame pushing to the downside. Just got rejected from this area, but we are still bearish. If we do close like this, we will still be bearish, and we could have a situation where we want to see the next candles fill in this wick. So we could be long-term bearish on this if we do get the close on the monthly time frame. So we have 1 day, literally an hour and 45 minutes before this candle closes. If it closes bearish, we could see more continuation. If it closes back bullish, there could be an opportunity where if we look at this weekly time frame, you see we have a level in the market that held the market, then we broke below it and immediately came back into the zone where we would have what would be a left shoulder head and a right shoulder right on this area. We could see a retracement in the next coming weeks for a continuation to the upside. Now, if we drop down to the daily time frame though, you can see on the daily time frame, we are impulsing to the upside. We just completed the most common pattern in the market, creating a higher high, come back, retest previous structure broken as support, create a higher high, come back, retest previous structure broken as support, create a higher high, come back, retest previous structure as support, and we are starting to make another higher high as it is right now. So after this impulse finishes, if we do get a nice and easy retracement back down to some of these levels for more continuation to the upside, I'll be looking for that next year. Now Euro USD on the monthly time frame pushing to the upside quite aggressively. Last we left off, we were right around some of these areas, but it looks like as if we're going to break and close above previous structure support. That if we close and break and close above it, if it does get retested again, it will be current structure support. So previous structure support on this side broken to the upside, come back, retest from the upside will act as support. So we could see more continuations on this market for quite some time. Now we did have this candle that you want to see the next ones fill in the wick a few weeks ago. If we drop down to the weekly time frame, and we are starting to get that wick feel as of now. If we drop down to the daily time frame, we did have a form of consolidation, a level in the market right around this area that I said if we do get the break and close above, you could look for more continuations to the upside. That's exactly what happened. Hopefully you took advantage of that. If you're paying attention on these live streams, gave you a nice and easy setup to go ahead and end your year. But from the daily time frame, we are just impulsing to the upside right now. So if we do get the continuation, which I'm looking for it to go to this level right here, this is the trade I'm in, I could just drop down to the 4-hour time frame, honestly. But if I drop down to the 4-hour, you can see I'm waiting on the market to come retest some of these levels right up in here, which would be the target, overall target for this structure right here. So that's what I'm waiting for. Hopefully beginning of next year, we could see a nice and easy move to the upside. Go ahead and tap that for me. But as we are just chilling, waiting for the new year to come and more opportunities to present themselves. Now, if we do look at GBP USD though, we are right in this area of previous structure support, now acting as resistance. We did break above it. We're not closing above it, but we do have this candle here that if closes bullish like it is, we could see more continuations to the upside to go and retest the highs of this wick to go ahead and get this wick feel. Now, if we drop down to the weekly time frame though, you can see it's setting up quite nicely. We did have a level in the market here. We had a little bit of complex corrections all through in here, but we did have a W formation formed right around this area where we could see possible retracements back down in here from a weekly time frame perspective. If it doesn't get too oversold, could provide a nice and easy setup for more continuation to the upside. Now, if we look at the daily time frame though, you can see that we are just moving to the downside where we have some levels of structure in place that we would like to see, I would like to see broken before I start to look for any buy opportunities first. First one being this level in the market here. If I do get a break and close above that, it could provide the momentum needed to go ahead and see this market create a higher high on this pair. AUD USD monthly time frame retesting previous structure support. It should act as resistance and is currently acting as resistance. If we do drop down to the weekly time frame though, what you can see on the weekly is that, let me clean some of this up, is that on the weekly we have a level in the market right here that spoke about last week as well, that if we did get the break and close below, you'd like to see the retest of this area for more continuations to the downside. But the market sat right on here at this level of previous structure support, acting as current structure support, and from there we're starting to make a move to the upside, basically just providing the most common pattern in the market with an impulse to the upside, come back, retest previous structure broken as support for more continuations to the upside. Now, if we look at the daily time frame though, we are starting to get a push, and if we do look at this, a little complex, a little advanced, if you can see it, you see it. If you don't, get in the program, you will learn these patterns in here. We do have a level in the market right around in here that is resistance, broken above, immediately broke back into the zone, coming back as if we're going to retest the backside of this trend line to the downside as well, just a little more confluence. And from there, we could possibly see more continuations to the downside, as it's not likely we're going to go ahead and break above this level in the market on the monthly time frame, break and close above it in the last hour and 40 minutes. So it's just a nice situation to be patient in this market on AUD USD. We'll see what happens when the new year comes around. Now, USD CAD on the monthly time frame, been speaking about USD CAD since the inception of these live streams. It has provided just textbook setups, chart patterns, and everything. We have a nice and easy break above some structure here. We had previous structure resistance, broke above it, came back, retested previous structure resistance, now turned support, and we are starting to get the move to the upside. We have the candle that if it closes the way that it is now, you want to see the next ones come fill in the wick, which could provide the momentum to see this market create a higher high on the monthly time frame. If we look at the weekly time frame, you can see we had a nice and easy move to the downside, move up, move back down, break back up, where we have a W pattern which does complete itself 80 to 90% of the time, and we have just recently gotten that neckline touch where from here it just puts us in a nice situation where we're in the most common pattern in the market already. So we have a nice and easy break above structure, coming back, retesting previous structure resistance as support. From there, we just want to see more continuations to the upside. Now, if we look at the daily time frame, though, we are still below some daily structure that I pointed out in previous live streams, that we wanted to see the break and close above this level of support. And once we got that, we could expect, not anticipate. Once again, we react, we do not anticipate, but if we do get the break and close above this level, we could then be looking for more continuations to the upside, but we did not get that. We're still trapped in between these levels where we have structure support and structure resistance right in here. You like to see a breakout to either direction before you start to look for a possible setup in the direction that you would like to trade. So I'm just really being patient on USD CAD until the next year. NZD USD monthly time frame, moving to the upside, recently tested this level of resistance and rejected, but we are starting to get some bullish candle closes on the monthly. Clean this up just a tad. And then if we look at the weekly time frame, though, you can see we've had a clear impulse to the downside and to the upside. So nice and easy move to the downside, a little W formation, complex correction, found a double bottom in this area, and then a nice and easy impulse to the upside where we are starting the correction. We do have some levels in the market right around in here. We have a level that was broken and closed below and then immediately came back into the zone where it could possibly act as the left shoulder head and then the right shoulder over on this side for more continuations to the upside, because we know that is a bullish pattern. And then if we drop down to the daily time frame, and you can see that on the daily, we are starting to come retest some of these levels in the market, but we would probably still need to see the market break above this level right here before we start to look for possible continuations to the upside on NZD USD, just to be safe. Now we can go over USD CHF on the monthly time frame, pushing to the downside very, very aggressively. The hopes of seeing a left shoulder here, head, and a right shoulder could still be possible. This is the monthly time frame we're talking about, so we do have a lot of time for these patterns to develop. But as it is right now, we're closing extremely bearish down below some of these levels, so we could just expect more continuation to follow. Now on the weekly time frame, though, we do have a level in the market right in here that has not been retested from a weekly time frame perspective per se. So until we start to get closes down below this level and then the market start to retest this level, we really can't be looking for too much on this pair. Now if we do drop down to the daily time frame, though, just for some immediate setups, we're finding a level of support right around here amongst these lows where we are kind of trapped in between support and resistance, where if we get a breakout to either side, it could provide the momentum needed for continuation in that direction. Now USD JPY monthly time frame, pushing to the downside very aggressively. All this month we've been retesting this level of previous structure resistance that did act as some support into at some capacity, but over the last week or so, we're starting to get an extremely aggressive move to the downside, to where now we're in a situation where we have the left shoulder here, the head up here, and then we have the right shoulder. We don't want to see the market break and close above any of the wicks on the left side on the right shoulder. So we could see more continuations to the downside, prompting just based off market structure, but we would still need to see the retracement. Now on the weekly time frame, we are pushing to the downside. We just completed the most common pattern in the market, so we can just expect more of that to happen. We have an impulse, come back for a correction, break below structure, come back for a correction, break below structure, come back for some sort of retracement in this area. We could possibly see the continuation to the downside, just to go ahead and follow market structure. And then if we look at the daily time frame, you can see a lot more detail how simple this concept really is. A break below some structure, come back retesting some type of structure. So we have the level that was retested right here. Then we broke and closed below some structure, come back, retest these levels that was support, using them as resistance here. And then we broke below some levels, came back, retested these levels of support that acted as resistance, and now we're pushing to the downside once again. If we do get a nice and easy break and close below some of this area, we could just see the same things happening over and over and over. Just really nice to follow market structure once you know what you're looking for. Nice and easy concept. Now we can slide over to BTC USD Bitcoin. And if we look at the monthly time frame of Bitcoin, what we can notice is that we have previous structure resistance all in this area, that we have what should act as current structure support all in this area. So we have this whole zone that the market could find some support in, but on the monthly time frame we are still bearish. If we look at the weekly time frame, you can see the most common pattern in the market happen a lot more. Break below some structure, come back, retest that structure. Break below some structure, come back, retest that structure. Break below some structure, come back, retest that structure. And it looks as if we want to go ahead and continue this pattern moving forward. Now on the daily time frame, what we can identify on the daily time frame is we've highlighted that we've been trapped in between these levels for quite some time. Previous structure resistance right here, and then we have support here, here, and here as well. But now that we are looking at it on the daily time frame, we do have the market just stepping down. So we created a high, created a lower high, and then we did also create a lower low. Coming back now, we are testing these lows. If we do get a break below some of these levels, we could come back for a retest for more continuation to the downside of the overall structure. So there could be some moves on Bitcoin still to the downside, as it's not made it totally blatant yet that the market wants to go ahead and make moves to the upside. So until then, until we start to see some breaks above some levels of structure, creating a bullish market, one being here, another being here as well. So we would need to see some breaks above some structure for us to start to identify this pair as bullish. But as it is now, it's just bearish on all time frames. So we can only expect the market to make moves to the downside until otherwise. But that sums it up. I am in not USD not. I'm pretty sure I'm in this one too. It's just now turned into my favor, so it wasn't a bit of drawdown. And then USD DKK as well is running quite nicely for me. So it's a great way to end the year. Ending the year on a positive note. A few trades in profit. Looking to go ahead and hit take profit, so that would be nice, a nice present if they do at the beginning of next year. So I don't see too many questions. Shout out to you, and I appreciate it if you've made it this far in the live stream. Just remember, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be hosting these live streams from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until further notice. So with that said, I'm going to get on up out of here. Let y'all enjoy your weekend. Everyone be safe. Hopefully you're bringing in the new year the right way. I hope everyone has some good New Year's resolutions that they hope and plan to stick to. And I hope you do plan and stick to your New Year's resolutions for at least another year. 365 days isn't much, man. I ran a mile every day for a year. I thought it was going to be a lot. It really wasn't. But yeah, I'm gonna slide up out of here. Don't see too much. Any questions, any pairs? Nothing. Going once, going twice, going thrice. All right, that's pretty much it, man. I hope everyone has a nice, safe new year. And I hope everyone has had a profitable week on and off the charts. Until next year.